Is this clever in car innovation or just expensive plastic with a big promise? Carlinkit Tbox UHD is pitched as an Android-powered AI box that plugs into your factory CarPlay or Android Auto port and turns it into a streaming and app hub. The headline claims are dual screen support via HDMI, full Android 13 with app installs, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, built-in 4G data, and an 8-core Qualcomm platform. Reality check starts with the name because UHD sounds like 4K, yet the official materials show adaptive output tied to the head unit, and the retail listing spells out support up to 1080p and not 2K or 4K. The hardware comes in 2 chip flavors, Snapdragon 660 or SM6225 class, with Adreno graphics and 4 to 8 gigs of RAM, and up to 128 gigs of storage, which is plenty for streaming apps and light games. Woei's history puts the core domain back to 2017, and the manufacturer publicly presents as Huizhou Yunlian Technology in Guangdong, with Chinese ICP filing and FCC and CE mentions, which fits an actual hardware vendor. The contact page lists a Huizhou Industrial Park address, which maps to a real multi-building makerspace and a mainland phone number and standard support emails. So, the box and the brand are real, and the question now is performance and polish. The customer voice is a split screen of strong winds and familiar AI box headaches. Positives are easy setup on cars that already have wired CarPlay or Android Auto, quick boot after the first pairing, stable wireless CarPlay once connected, and the HDMI out party trick for a rear screen or passenger display. Buyers call out YouTube and Plex cruising fine when cellular coverage is good and app installs behave like a mid-tier Android tablet. The recurring negatives stack up in patterns that matter. First is compatibility roulette across model years and brands where one head unit is flawless, and the next drops audio or ignores steering wheel controls. Second is heat and throttling in hot cabins that leads to stutter after long sessions. Third is microphone routing quirks where voice assistants or call audio switch microphones unpredictably. Fourth is firmware whack-a-mole, where an update fixes one car and breaks another, and users wait for the next patch. Review timelines show bursts around major sales and firmware pushes, which suggests honest volume mixed with some house-kept testimonials. The signal through the noise is clear that the UHD can be great when your car and phone combination is in the sweet spot, and merely tolerable when it is not. Let us talk policy, build quality, and the business reality you live with after paying. The plastic shell and RGB ring are fine, and the ports are sensible with USB-C TF card and mini HDMI. The company posts manuals, a warranty page, and an after-sales policy that looks like a direct-to-consumer playbook. Key bits you should know are: returns window is short at around 2 weeks for store purchases, with buyer paying return shipping, along with a roughly 1/5 restocking fee when the seller is not at fault. Order cancel windows are tight, which matters during pre-order hype. Shipping speeds vary by warehouse region and can stretch if your variant is the cellular model. The corporate presence lines up with a real Chinese maker that holds a US trademark and shows up in import databases, so you are not chasing a ghost if you ever need service. Carlinkit also warns about copycat sites, which is common in this niche, and explains why there are multiple official-looking storefronts. Practical risk checks are: use a credit card with chargeback protection, screenshot your order and firmware version on day 1, and test every feature in the first week so you can return if your car lands on the wrong side of compatibility. Pricing usually floats between the mid-100s and high 100s, depending on chip and promos, which puts it right against Autocast and AA wireless style boxes. Spec for spec, the UHD is competitive with dual screen capability and cellular inside, while many rivals stick to Wi-Fi tether only. The catch is that UHD branding does not deliver 4K, and you are functionally capped by your head unit resolution and the stated 1080p ceiling even over HDMI. The SM6225 version tends to be snappier and cooler than the older 660 in testing, and is the one to pick if both are available. If you only want wireless CarPlay without apps or HDMI, you can spend far less on a dedicated wireless adapter and get fewer bugs. If you want a pure streaming puck for an HDMI screen, there are cheaper Android TV sticks that will run cooler and update longer, though they will not integrate with CarPlay controls. Verdict is mixed, but leaning legit. The company is real. The hardware can be fun, and the feature set is rich when your car is compatible. Yet the name oversells the output, and policies are not buyer-friendly. Worth the hype or worth the headache comes down to your risk tolerance. If you buy, go for the SM6225 version, test fast, and keep your return window visible. If you hate tinkering, comparison shop, or buy from a retailer with easy returns.